lot of important attributes that we can know about God that follow from this doctrine of divine simplicity. First of all, we can know that God is one, monotheism. There is only one God. Because suppose if there were two, right? If there were two gods, then if you imagine that, they would have to have something in common in virtue of which we say there are two of the same thing. But one of them would have to be different than the other in virtue of which we say that there are two, right? In other words, one would have to have part of it that differs from the other, but God can't have parts, therefore God has to be one. Another attribute that we can know from divine simplicity is this idea of divine immutability. God cannot change. In other words, God has to be just actuality, and he can't be this admixture of potency and act. God exists, he's an actual being, but there can't be a part of God that's able to be something that's not actually there yet. In other words, God can't acquire some new property, and therefore God cannot change. We can also know from this that God is immaterial, since all material things have parts, right? But God can't have parts, therefore God can't be material. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, we can know that God is his own existence. In other words, pure act. God is just pure actuality, right? He's just existence, and that's all. The Latin phrase was ipsum esse subsistens. God exists, and there's nothing else to him. He's just pure actuality, right? With no admixture of anything else. In God, existence and essence are the same. So, because God is simple, he must be one, immaterial, unchanging, pure actuality.